So, but the other thing was energy prices, gas prices being so high.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like there could be so much more done stateside that is outside of Putin and the war in Ukraine. Because it can you touch on that about how the oil companies are just so fucking greedy and how because I'm very
this is very interesting, and it plays into your point about Wall Street because that's actually what's really going on here.
Right.
So in the wake of us cutting off Russian oil supplies and obviously oil prices spiking during the Ukraine war, one of the options that has been put out there is that, well, why don't these domestic oil companies, which have been, we're supposed to be a net exporter of energy at this point, why don't they just raise production and everything will be fine, and it'll compensate for Russian oil losses, of which we don't even use that much. We use 5% of total U.S. resources are from Russia. Why don't we do that?
Yeah.
What happened was that over the decade when sort of the fracking boom occurred, more and more money was put into fracking, to more exploration, more investment, finding more fields. And there was a very boom and bust cycle. And the money that was used for the revenues that were gained from actually producing oil did not go to investors. They went to more and more. Capital expenditures, and investors weren't happy about this, especially at the beginning of the pandemic. You might remember when oil prices went negative for a little while.
Oh yeah,
everybody lost out. There was this huge bust out. And a lot of consolidation in that industry. But investors made the decision at that point that, okay, when this market rebounds, we're not going to be that stupid anymore. And what they mean by not being that stupid is that you're not going to invest anymore in more production. We are going to keep prices high so that we can get dividends and buybacks out of it. And we do not want to see major capital expenditures in U.S. domestic oil production. And so when the prices rose, you have all of these investor calls with major oil companies, major fracking companies, domestic oil producers who say, well, our investors won't let us produce more. We're not going to do it, or else our stock would go down. And, the ways in which CEO compensation and stock price are inextricably linked. So
the better the stock performance, the better your performance package.
Exactly. So we are in a situation now where Wall Street essentially is saying that you're not allowed to produce any more oil. You're going to keep your production flat. We're not going to do more investment, and prices are going to stay high. But those are the breaks.
Is there anything the government can do to just say, "Fuck your dividends, fuck all of this"?